Glamlite Cosmetics is in some drama. Let's talk about it. By the way, I'm KJ Miller, founder, lecturer, and content creator. I love talking about all things business and pop culture and beauty. So if you like any of that, be sure to subscribe. Now, let's get into it. Okay, first and foremost, it is Memorial Weekend. Okay, so we are going to be here for a good time, not a long time. I caught wind of all of this because Christian Chanel, this beautiful, look at her, beautiful, gorgeous content creator, beauty content creator, popped up on my For You page on TikTok with this video that she titled Exposing Glamlite Cosmetics. So I will link this video, her original video, as well as the response from Glamlite and her response to their response. Okay, we got TikToks on TikToks on TikToks. I will link all of that below, but here is my quick synopsis. According to Christian Chanel, and this has been backed up by Glamlite, she made Glamlite Cosmetics over the course of something like 2 months, over $90,000 in revenue. The bulk of that in December of last year. I think in December, she made them over 70K, and then through February, it went up to over 90K. Okay, so she is a top producer for them, and she made that through TikTok Shop, where she was getting a 15% affiliate commission. Okay, that's fact number one. Sometime late last year, because she was such a top earner and also just generally gorgeous and a great content creator, she was invited to the headquarters, the Glamlite headquarters. She went, and she maintains that at that meeting, two things were discussed, and this is really where the disputes come in, because everyone agrees she has been a top earner for them, okay? No dispute there. But at this meeting, two things happened, and this is where the disputes lie. Number one, in the meeting, they spoke about the fact that Glamlite was planning to do a collaboration with the show Bel-Air on HBO. And they asked about Christian Chanel potentially participating in some way, whether as a model, whether, just posting about it. It's not really clear exactly. I don't think anything had been firmed up. They spoke to her about participating in the collaboration. Now, she maintains that when she and her management said, okay, great, we'll send you more information about my rates, that they balked at that and basically said, oh, we don't have budget for it, okay? So that's dispute number one, because Glamlite has come back and said, no one ever said that we didn't have budget. That was never said. And then they also back up with, they say, like, check these emails, check these DMs, check these text messages. No one ever said anything about not having budget. However, Christian Chanel maintains it was said in the meeting. You guys said that to me, you didn't have budget. And obviously you've worked with other influencers and paid other influencers for certain things. They did a collaboration with Michaela at one point. So she's like, that feels like some bullshit. Okay, that's dispute number one. The second dispute is with regards to her TikTok commission rate. She let them know, hey, I typically get a 20% commission rate. Right now I'm at 15% with you. I would like to be increased to 20%. And apparently what was communicated to her was that they didn't know how to do that, but they would figure it out. So basically she left under the impression that they were going to go sort it out and figure out how to get her to her target commission rate. Now, several months go by. They never, in fact, end up collaborating with her on the Bel-Air partnership. In fact, they invite her to an event after it's clear basically all of the collabs that were going to happen have happened by that point, because now they're doing a launch event. And with regards to the TikTok Shop, as of this week, when she posted this video, they still had not increased her rate to 20%. Okay, so those are their facts. You can go and watch the video, the response from Glamlite, the response to the response from her. Everybody has differing opinions. I just wanted to offer my opinion as someone who is a founder who has worked with dozens and dozens, actually at this point, I think hundreds of beauty content creators, who has negotiated several contracts, who has worked with creators in a paid capacity and a non-paid gifting only capacity, who has had creators come in and step in as models and photo shoots. I've worked with creators in just about as many capacities as possible. That's one hat I wear. Separately, I wear a hat as a content creator. I have been building out my creator career. And so I think I can bring, I guess you could call, a unique perspective to this conversation. And I just wanted to share my thoughts. So let me just say this. I do not know either of these women. I don't know Christian Chanel, and I don't know the founder of Glamlite. So this is all speculative. I just want to be very clear. Second, I think in disputes like this, it's very likely that both sides are giving some version of what they believe the truth to be, right? The truth as they experienced it. I know people love to say there's only one truth, but the fact of the matter is, once you bring in like, what were my interpretations of what was said? What was I thinking about in this? What was my intention? I don't know how it landed, but I know what I was trying to do, so on and so forth. My guess is both parties are bringing some version of what they believe is true to the table. Those are my disclaimers. Now I'll get to my opinion. Broadly speaking, I am inclined to believe that Christian Chanel's version of the truth is closer to the actual truth here. And I'll tell you why. Let's start with the Bel Air collaboration. I don't know what words were specifically used in that meeting, but I very much believe that when she and her manager said, okay, we will get in touch with you about my rates, I believe that the Glamlite team balked at that. They may not have explicitly said, oh, no, we don't have budget. Did they use those exact words? Who knows? Only God knows. But I believe they most likely did balk at that. And I think Christian is very much well within her rights to interpret that as them essentially saying, we don't have budget for you. The reason I believe that is because it seems clear to me, based on the response that the Glamlite founder gave in her video, that they really were not and are not in the business of sponsoring influencers. They do the TikTok shop, and they consider that to be the form of partnership that they mostly want to participate in. In their minds, when they said to Christian Chanel, we'd love for you to participate in this partnership, they were thinking the way that you already participate with us, the way that you already collab with us, which is via the TikTok shop. So even if they didn't explicitly say that, that's what they were thinking, because that's what they've already modeled out. That's what they have sitting in their budget, in their P&L. Okay, great. Any influencers who work with us, we're going to give them their 15%. They've already budgeted that out. Bop, bop, bop. To them, it's done and dusted, right? So in their minds, they're not asking for anything more than potentially what she's already done. Maybe we're asking for a little bit heavier of a lift, but if this collab really pops off, you're going to win, right? If before you made us 90K and now you make us 200K, everybody wins, right? Because you get a commission. So in their minds, they're not thinking about it as an extra ask. But of course, Christian Chanel is thinking about it from the perspective of, oh, you want to do a collab, you want to do a partnership. Well, I have rates for that. That's different. That's different than me just getting up and popping a TikTok shop link and talking about a lip gloss. That's a different thing, and I have rates for that. So they both approach that conversation differently, and when Glamlite balked at it, whatever was said, I think Christian Chanel is not being unreasonable for interpreting that as them essentially saying, oh, we don't have budget for you. Because essentially, if you're not going to pay her for it, you don't have budget for it. So that is reason number one why I tend to think Christian Chanel's version of the truth is closer to the truth. That said, as a founder, I very much understand going into a conversation like that, thinking this is what the partnership is going to be. This is sort of what my budget's going to look like. I have that in the back of my mind, and not realizing that, oh, actually this might change. This person might want to do it differently. And if I discover that in the meeting in real time, maybe having a reaction that feels a little bit off-putting, when in fact it's just like, oh, I'm a little caught off guard because I thought we were just going to keep doing the thing we've been doing. So I can understand that as well. But now here's the piece where I feel like I can't really give much grace to the Glamlite team. I think that Christian Chanel's ask to be increased to a higher commission rate, first of all, it makes all the sense in the world. And second of all, their team should have jumped at the opportunity to continue incentivize a top seller. That to me, no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. This woman brought in the course of a couple of months, almost $90,000 in revenue single-handedly. You think she can't flip the script and tomorrow be talking about somebody else's palettes and somebody else's lip glosses? Of course she can. Her audience has connected with her. They haven't connected with your brand. They've connected with her. Okay? She's the reason they are coming to your site. So for me as a brand owner, I can tell you this right now. If Christian Chanel brought in $90,000 for Mented Cosmetics in the space of a couple of months, 20%, let's make it 25. Because as far as I'm concerned, you are a brand ambassador. You at that point might be my top brand ambassador. And I just think it should be easy to incentivize people who are connecting with the audience you're trying to reach. That should be the easiest decision you've ever made. But instead, first you said we don't really know how to change the target rate, which may have been true, but somebody's to-do coming out of that meeting should have been to immediately hop up on a call or an email with TikTok support and figure that shit out, to be quite frank. And the fact that many, many months later, her targeted rate has not been changed means you didn't care enough about her in order to do it. And I think that that's shady. I think that's dropping the ball. I think you are now not only de-incentivizing someone who clearly loved talking about your product, you're incentivizing her to now speak poorly about your brand. That is the miss of all misses, okay? And I don't get it, and I really can't defend it. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to share my 2 cents as a brand owner. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Drop me a comment. And if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time.